What's going on, everybody? Josh Callaway here with AllSooners, and alongside by John Hoover, Ryan Chapman at the stadium in Norman, where Oklahoma is back in the win column. 3-game losing streak snapped. They beat Kansas today 52-42 on homecoming. As you probably, if you didn't watch this game, I told you that score, you would say, okay, Dillon Gabriel must have played then. He did. He played very, very well in his first game back. We'll go ahead and start there with DG. Some apprehension, right? We talked about on the podcast this week. Should he play? Would he play? He did. He said he felt great, had no reservations about it, and he played great. Had some turnovers, but otherwise, I mean, the offense looked back what we saw early in the season.
You know, Jeff Lebby said he found out or felt like on Sunday that they were going to play Dillon Gabriel. Okay, that's fine, cool. When did the Las Vegas bettors know? Because they set this thing at 9 points, and it was a 10-point game. How did they know these things? 402 yards passing for Dillon, a couple of touchdowns, a couple of turnovers, as you said, a couple of fumbles. One of them was just weird. You're just giving it away, cocking your arm, it slips out. Yeah. A little bit of rust, maybe, on the part of Dillon Gabriel. But he, you know what, I'm not going to knock him for missing a couple of throws here and there. I'm not going to knock him for dropping the ball. Guy's coming off a concussion, had 400 yards passing against a defense that gave up, what, 275 coming in per game? Kansas could be had in the air, and Jeff Lebby, to his credit, he didn't shy away from having Dillon Gabriel back from concussion injury. He said, Dillon, if you're good to go, then you're good to go. Let's throw the football all over the yard. What was he, 29 of 42? Did throw the interception. So, yeah, that was an impressive overall performance by Dillon Gabriel.
Well, and the thing that you didn't expect, Kansas coming in conference play has been the best rushing defense in Big 12 play. Oklahoma comes out and says, cool, doesn't matter. Eric Gray is going to go out there and run for 179, 316 total for the entire rushing attack from Oklahoma. And guys, it didn't look like Oklahoma had to do anything special, anything gimmicky, anything like that. They did go to the Wildcat a couple of times, but that wasn't needed to get those yards. Oklahoma was slicing and dicing this Kansas defense on the ground, and that's a big credit to both Eric Gray for winning those one-on-ones that Jeff Lebby always talks about, but also the offensive line opening gaping holes. Brent Venables talked about how Kansas's defense is simple, pretty vanilla is what he labeled, so mentally the offensive line wasn't challenged. Didn't look like they were challenged physically either from a Kansas defensive front that's been really good in Big 12 play.
Get this, 700 and what did I say, 3 yards, 701 yards?
It ended at 701.
701
it was
total.
710 before the kneel.
36 first downs, all those yards, all those 52 points, and they had a goal line stoppage down here.
Yeah,
and 3 turnovers that were pretty much giveaways. So, yeah, this could have easily been a 70-point. That's how football works, though. You can't count on things that aren't there. You just got to go get them, and that's what Oklahoma did today. The guys talked previously about, what was different about this week was my question. I asked Brent Venables and I asked some of the players, what was different about this week? Attention to detail, focus, finishing, execution. You got to presume better coaching, you know. I mean, when the things go sideways, the coaches take the blame, and when things go well, the players usually get the credit. But I think the coaches coached better this week too.
Yeah, obviously the biggest, Dillon Gabriel, like we said, didn't play perfect. He had some turnovers, missed some throws. I think we're at this point we can just say that at least in 2022, that's just who Dillon Gabriel is. He's going to miss a handful of game, but he's also going to hit a lot as well, going to put up a lot of points and a lot of yards. This offense, when he's in it, has been good this season. 4 complete games, they've scored good points, they moved the ball, got lots of yards. When Jeff Lebby has got a guy who knows what he's doing, his system, and can actually, throw it down the field a little bit, they can move the ball, they can score some points. You saw that today, and of course, like Ryan said, Eric Gray a monster day, Braden Willis and Marvin Mims both with monster days. Oklahoma leaned on their bell cows, their big guys, the guys you expect to carry an offense when it's been struggling, and they stepped up in a big way. Now,
Ryan, the big thing, 16 of 21 on third downs.
Yes.
Unreal.
Where did that come from?
Unreal.
Well,
and to salt the game away, too. That drive at the end, oh, that was chef's kiss. Running the ball down the field, melting the clock off. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, leading into TCU week, I know it's forgotten with everything that happened in Fort Worth, but Dillon Gabriel was like, hey, it's not impossible to convert on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You don't want to be there, but it's not impossible. Oklahoma showed didn't matter if it was 3rd and short, 3rd and long, efficient today.
Yeah, they did a much better job in that area, which had kind of killed them a lot in the last few weeks, especially, obviously. Now, other side of the ball, defense had a weird day, I would say, because it wasn't good. I mean, on paper, statistically, right? I mean, 42 points for Kansas. They got yards, they got points. Oklahoma had a chance to put this game away a few times and would give up, a big touchdown, an easy one at the end of the game and stuff like that. But they did force some turnovers. They did have some better tackling, I thought, at times in this game. but there's still a lot. So, I mean, baby steps, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, Kansas last week against TCU, Jason Bean went out there and had 16 completions for 262 yards. Today he had 16 completions for 265 yards. I'm sensing a little bit of a balance going on within the KU offense. That's the Kansas offense. They're explosive, they're fast, they're confident, they're well coached, they're well designed. So you're going to expect to see some. Here's what we didn't see today. We saw guys get beat. We didn't see a lot of busts. We didn't see a lot of missed. We saw some missed tackles, but not nearly as many as last week or the week before. So yeah, it's something that it was a step in the right direction. It was progress.
If you read by the numbers that we put up every Friday, you knew that this Kansas offense 4th in the country in yards per play, so it was never going to be a shutout, not moving the football. The important thing is, like you mentioned, Josh, C.J. Colden gets that interception. That was just an incredible play. Yeah. Deshaun White reads the play really well, gets the interception. Oklahoma goes and cashes in offensively. But more than that, 4-man front, the yards per play in the run game was a lot better, and it just looked better. They were actually getting penetration. It was missed plays in the backfield as opposed to no one anywhere close in the backfield. So that's something that's encouraging. And also they go out there, 8 tackles for loss. David Igwebu gets their 2nd sack in Big 12 play today. So while the result still kind of iffy, points on the board, things like that, it looked a lot better, and it looked like there were more building blocks from this performance than at any point against TCU or Texas.
You mentioned the 4-man front. I don't know if you guys saw my statistic. You think it was the Friday package, where when they run a 3-man front, the opponent averages 6 yards per carry, per rush. When they run a 4-man front, it's 3.6. It's as simple as that. I'm not the only one privileged to that information. The coaches know that too. Came out here today and ran a 4-man front. It was mostly effective.
Yeah, no, I mean, defensively, I mean, there was a stretch in this game. I think it was 4 straight stops. Yeah. Defensively, got a couple turnovers. Let
3
the
punts
offense.
And an interception. 3 punts and is that right? Interception.
2 interceptions, right?
Well, during that stretch, it was 3 punts and an interception.
Okay.
In the first half, it was 4 stops, 3 punts, 1 interception. In the second half, they had 3 straight stops, one of those being the Deshaun White pick.
The 4 straight in the first half, that let the offense score some points and get a lead.
21-point lead.
What a world we lived in where Oklahoma had a lead in this game. They actually got to play from in front. Faster start. That was really good to see. Brent Venables talked about that in post-game. You know, they're college kids. They like to have confidence. You like to look at the scoreboard and see your team ahead. That helps. And it goes back to what we were talking about last week, where Dylan Gabriel just being back helps the defense too, because there's not so much pressure on the defense to get a stop every single time. They know that, okay, we're going to score points. Let's just try to get some stops, get a lead, and try to win this football game. That's exactly what you saw today. A little more complimentary football is that phrase that's been beat to death. We'll talk about that a little bit more today.
Another quick stat I'll throw out. 4 penalties for 45 yards, all in the first half. Second half played clean, no penalties.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Much better. Much better.
I mean, that's what it's all about, is playing clean, executing, being focused on what you have to do. You know, the penalties have been piling up. Guys have been distracted. You know, when you're getting your brains beat out, I totally get it. But they just played cleaner today all the way around the board.
Well, even those penalties, we've talked a bunch. Those have been drive killers. I think the quintessential thing for this offense today, Eric Ray has a 21-yard touchdown run. Gets called back for a late flag. Chris Murray holding on the back side of the play. What happens? Next play, Eric Ray runs 31 yards. It looked like the same thing. Coming to the left, coming to the end zone behind us, scores the touchdown. Not drive killers and way, way fewer penalties across the board.
So let's spin it forward real quick, then we'll get out of here. Bye week next week. They go to Ames in 2 weeks. Ames, Iowa. 5 games in the year. 3 of them are on the road.
Let's go back and talk about the bye week.
Let's go. We're going to Ames. You're taking the wagon. We're going to Ames. We need a break. So get the bye week. Next week, and then Ames, Iowa in 2 weeks. What do we think about this team now? Do you feel like that they've improved enough this week that you feel like, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought, more the same? Where we stand with Oklahoma going into the bye?
Make the same amount of improvements next week and the week after that, coming into the bye, going out of the bye, and you'll win in Ames. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying it's an Iowa State team that's still winless in Big 12 play and just struggles to put points on the board. So you talk about building confidence here. Going into Ames, if Oklahoma can have success defensively, that's the perfect spot to have this 2-week run-up, because it's just not a very well-run, talented offense right now, as they've replaced a ton in Iowa State.
We got through this whole thing. We never talked about the uniforms either. Yay or nay?
Right. I say yay, but I need more brighter numbers. I need a big, chunky white number so I can see it from way up there.
Yeah, the uniforms look good for us nerds and the binoculars trying to discern numbers and stuff. wasn't good.
Yeah.
But that
Also, names on the back are helpful.
Yeah.
that's
Not unity.
The lack of names on the back was wreaking havoc on everybody. I think I was told the TV broadcast was having a real hard time.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a couple times. It really tests your knowledge of the team's numbers. I remember one time number 3 came in and got big. I was like, who's number 3? Oh, it's Robert Spears Jennings. He doesn't play enough. I didn't know his number.
Wow. And also, everyone's man, Sooner faithful love him. Gavin Freeman lays out.
Oh, he's getting Stoops.
Gets the Stoops chance because nobody could tell. Nobody could tell it was an 82, not a 1-2.
Yeah, no, they look pretty good. The helmets were cool. They could use some tweaks. I think we all agree on that. Better than the Rough Riders, though.
White
Players
trim.
want to wear them
Just
again next week.
White
or in 2
trim.
weeks.
White trim.
Keep
white
it going.
Trim.
Wear it till you lose.
Yep.
Wear it on
White
the
trim.
road.
Players said they want to wear it every week now.
I was thinking where they're all blacks, and we'll just have a disgusting all dark uniform matchup in 2 weeks in Ames. Why not?
At like 11 a.m. Not official, but just assuming 11 a.m.
It feels that feels 11 a.m.y, and we'll find out that on Monday. Hopefully, not the 6-day window nonsense. When Oklahoma plays next in 2 weeks. Next week's the bye, though. We'll enjoy that. Of course, AllSooners.com, the place to be. Loads of coverage from this game, reaction from Brent Venables, the coordinators, players, of course, us, game stories, game highlights, and of course, we're going to go record the post-game podcast as well for all of our full expounded thoughts on this game as the Sooners get back in the win column, back above 500 at 4-3 after beating Kansas, their first Big 12 win. Took until October, whatever it is, 15th, but they got it in the win column in Big 12 play. That's it for now. For Ryan Chapman and John Hoover, I'm Josh Callaway.